What's going on, everybody? It's Core here, and today I'm finally answering the questions that you guys submitted for my Q&A. And I thank every one of you who submitted your questions for this Q&A. And you had till yesterday, November 11th, when I'm filming this video. I'm filming it on the 12th. You had till November 11th to submit your questions, and we got a pretty decent number of questions, so I'm going to go through them now. I got a few on YouTube, a few on Twitter, and one set of questions on Discord. So let's start with the ones I got on Discord. So the questions on Discord come to me from LRF Modding. You might have heard of this person mentioned in my videos. He's the one that sends me the Need for Speed Most Wanted unreleased/lost mods. And his questions are, first of all, why did you start YouTube? Well, I started YouTube because it was it's like a hobby of mine. I never saw YouTube as, I'm going to create a YouTube channel and make money now. So I just started YouTube for fun. I like to make videos on stupid, obscure racing games and on mods and racing games that we all know and love. And I just thought, give it a tiny twist like I do with the stupid editing tricks that I have. And just something, a creative escapism for me, I guess. That's about it for the first question. Second question is, what's your goal in life? Be happy and have a large collection of weird cars? That's about it, I guess. Your dream garage. Couldn't answer that one precisely. There's a million different cars that I would have, but let's narrow it down to a type of car. So for a classic, it would be a 67 Ford Galaxy 500 XL. For a daily, I'd probably go for the Volvo V60 Polestar engineered or the Audi R6 Avant. And as a sports car, the Honda NSX, obviously, you guys know that one. Like a road trip car for long distances, either a Genesis GV80, the new one, or the new Land Rover Defender. And as a grand touring car, like a sportier two-door touring car, either a DBS Superleggera or a Bentley Continental GT. Next, first game you ever played. The first game I ever played was Prince of Persia for MS-DOS. I played it on my family's old Compaq all-in-one back in 2003 or 2004. It was a really fun game, and I had the desktop icon for the game was a traffic light. I don't exactly know why, but I vividly remember that. It was a great game, and then I got Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2 given to me by a neighbor, and I just, that's where my racing game obsession started, I guess. Next, if you had three wishes, your favorite video game genre? Racing games, obviously. But I do like, as well, side-scrolling adventures like Super Mario. I love Super Mario Brothers, one of my favorite games ever. If you had three wishes, what would they be? For COVID to f*** off, to have a large collection of weird cars, and to live in the Swiss or Italian Alps. Your favorite mod, final question. My favorite mod for Need for Speed Most Wanted 2005. I don't know. I've tried out so many of them that I couldn't really answer that. But I like quite a few of them. Couldn't tell you, to be honest. There's so many that I like, I can't just give you a single one that I like the most. So that's all from the questions from LRF Modding. Thank you so much for submitting questions for this Q&A. Now let's move on to YouTube. Alright, so in the YouTube comment section, first question comes to us from Tarek, and he asks me, is there a story behind the name Core? Just curious. Yes, there is a story behind the name. Basically, Core is like an old Gaelic Scottish word for bird or falcon, and since my last name means of the falcon, translated literally, that's what I decided to go with. It's unique, it's cool, never seen it before, yeah. Next up is from Carlos. I don't want to say your last name in case I butcher it. Next question is from Carlos. Might have heard of him being mentioned before. Club Sport. He asks me, is Dirt 5 a contender for the best racing game of the year? Possibly, yes. I know that the game has a few flaws right now. I've heard that before. I haven't played Dirt 5 yet. But for the year, like 2020... yes, absolutely. This definitely is a contender for Racing Game of the Year, but I'm more interested to see what the others are cooking up. So Test Drive Unlimited, Solar Crown, Need for Speed 2021, obviously, and the new Forza Motorsport game. So that's your question answered, Carlos. Next comment comes from 2020 Polestar 1. Nice name, nice car. He asks me, what got you into cars? Mostly it was my grandfather. You might have seen some of my Origins, my Steam name and so on, have My name on them is Core1606. That's not my birthday. That's my grandpa's birthday. And he always was messing around with different cars, restoring them, fixing them, and so on. We actually inherited a Mark II Golf from him back when he passed away in 2008. God bless him. And basically, that was about it. He was constantly around cars, and I got really interested in that from a young age. I remember we were visiting my grandmother when I was born, when I was like 2 years old. My parents had a Mark I Golf, and every time they'd call me in for food, for lunch, obviously, I would just sit in the car and refuse to get out. And ever since I was young, I always found it satisfying to hear the sound of a car doors shutting. Still holds true today, but my parents love to make fun of me for that. I don't know why. But that's about it for cars. Basic answer is my grandpa. Final question from the YouTube comments comes from Oscar M., good friend of mine. He says, what is harder, license in Gran Turismo or license in Macedonia? Macedonia is the country I live in, or should I say North Macedonia. Honestly, Oscar, it would have to be getting a license in Macedonia. I failed my driving test for the 4th time yesterday on November the 11th, for the simple reason that, well, traffic in my hometown is a nightmare. It's ridiculous. So, at least in Gran Turismo, you don't have to deal with traffic in my hometown. So I would say getting a license in Gran Turismo is much easier. Alright, so final set of questions come to us from Twitter. And the first set of questions are from Skids, and he asks, number 1, DCT or manual? Depends. For a daily driver, DCT or automatic? Yes. For a weekend car, a race car, a car that requires it to have a manual? Definitely, obviously, a manual. But right now, while I'm still, well, technically gonna be a beginner driver soon, I prefer a manual transmission. It allows me to learn it much better, and it's a lot more satisfying. Would you live in Dubai if you was given the chance to? Yes, I would. I mean, maybe not permanently, because I am not a fan of constant summer. I prefer cold climates. But for like a few months to live in Dubai, yeah, absolutely. I'd love it. I've actually visited the United Arab Emirates. I should probably say that now. And it was great. It was an amazing country with amazing people, amazing cars as well. Saw my first ever Mark IV Supra in real life when I was in the UAE. It was amazing. So yeah, short answer is I would live in Dubai, but not permanently. Next up, 2 more questions from Skids. First up, from the second set of questions, is favorite music genre. Here's the thing about me. I like all kinds of music, to be honest. I just, I don't really discriminate with music. I mean, there are a few exceptions to that. One of them is Serbian, well, Balkan rap, or turbo folk, as we call it over here. Cannot stand that. Also, mumble rap, no. Trance, don't like that. But if I had to pick a favorite, like single out a favorite music genre, I would say rock. Absolutely, no question about it. Final question from Skids. Can you send it? No, not yet. Next questions come from Vicious, aka M4DTM Fanman. Awesome name there. And he asks, favorite touring cars, example BMW M4 DTM. My favorite touring cars are the Mark I Ford Mondeo and the Volvo 850R. Enough said. Next, dream project cars. There are far too many of them, I couldn't tell you, but one of them undeniably is the Volkswagen Beetle, the original Beetle. I would love to do like either a swap it with an electric motor, or do like a Subaru swap in a crazy wide body. Definitely the Beetle is one of my top project cars that I would love to do with something with someday. Favorite racing games? Need for Speed Most Wanted 2005 and Gran Turismo 4, no doubt in my mind. Most Wanted 05 is my favorite video game of all time, period. So, Dirt 5 or Hot Pursuit Remastered? I don't know, because I haven't, well, I don't know. As I said, I haven't played either of those two, but I imagine Hot Pursuit Remastered is the closest thing to me having played it, because, well, it's Hot Pursuit 2010, and I've played that a lot. So until I play Dirt 5, I can't answer this question, but this question will be answered once I get my hands on Dirt 5. And Vicious also adds, hope your health is good and your family's doing good as well. Thanks for the Q&A. No problem, and thank you very much. That's very considerate and very nice of you. Next set of questions come from Daniel Sarang, good, really good buddy of mine. He has two questions. First one is favorite light-duty pickup truck: Chevy Colorado, Ford Ranger, etc. This might surprise a lot of people. For the U.S. market, it's the Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro. Can't beat Toyota reliability, and it looks really cool as well. It's a great little mid-size pickup. And for European market pickup trucks, no question, either the Volkswagen Amarok or the Ford Ranger Raptor. Those are my top pickup trucks for the European market, ones that I could potentially buy if I had the money. And his second question is, if you were to move to anywhere in the world, literally anywhere, where would it be and why? If I could move somewhere in the world right now, it would be anywhere except Macedonia. Okay, I'm kidding, but I would probably move to either the Italian Alps or the Swiss Alps. I prefer colder climates, like I said in my previous question, and the Alps are beautiful. They have these little quaint towns in them, which is what I prefer. I don't really like metropolitan areas rather. And there's a lot of cool mountain roads, and I imagine a lot of good driving roads as well, where you could take your project builds or your spirited sports cars and so on. So yeah, Italian Alps or Swiss Alps, definitely. Final question. Turns out I have saved the best for last. It comes from Atlas, aka @thepilotx, and he asked me, how many car clips do you need to make a video of Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley, I assume, using just car revving sounds? I can't answer this question, but I will provide a link in the description to Never Gonna Give You Up's sheet music. Count the notes, do the math yourself. Sorry. So that's about it for the Q&A, guys. Thank you to everyone who submitted your questions, and thank you. I was supposed to do the Q&A for my 350 sub special, but by the time I got around to recording this, we're already at 360 subs. So thank you all very much for that. It's awesome. I love the continued support I've gotten from every one of you. It really means a lot to me. I know I sound like every YouTuber ever, but it does. And thank you to everybody who submitted the questions. And that's about it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to hit like and subscribe to the channel. Also, check me out on Twitter. There will be a link in the description. And I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.